In Local 5 politics, it came down to two names in a candy dish after last week's mayoral race in Osceola ended in a tie. But now the city has a new mayor-elect. Local 5's John Diaz has more on how the tie was broken and why the race it may not be over.
Inside the Clark County Courthouse multi-purpose room, something we don't often see.
We've got them on the same size card, and I will try to fold them exactly the same.
The next mayor of Osceola decided by drawing a name out of a candy dish.
All right, here we go.
Wait, let's back up. How did we get here? It was a close one last week for the two mayoral candidates on the ballot, and after a recount this week, a tie. 382 to 382. And when that happens, Iowa law says this is the tiebreaker.
Matthew Stoll.
Not something Mayor Thomas Kedley expected after 6 years in office.
That's the beautiful thing about America, and that's the beautiful thing about elections. You don't know until voter day. That is the one thing as elected officials we have no power in. It's we the people who have the power to elect our officials.
The winner, Matt Stoll, just as surprised with some work ahead of him, he says.
I have 382 people I need to go talk to and figure out what I'm doing wrong. So, yeah, I mean, a close election like this, any close election is going to obviously impact anybody.
But this race may not be over. Kedley says he has evidence of voter fraud, essentially saying someone who doesn't live in Osceola voted in the race, so the result could still be contested.
If it comes out that I win or if it's a tie, I'll still be contesting or going after voter fraud because that's the foundation of our democracy.
And there's the other question that seemed to be in the air. Should this be how elections are settled? Carefully folded pieces of paper drawn out of a dish, selected because it's clear and happen to be sitting in someone's office at the courthouse?
Just because there are so many election laws, so many detailed things we have to go through to carry out an election, and then something so simple as drawing out a hat.
All right, John joining me now. You would think this doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but probably more often than you would think. It happened twice in Decatur County this election, and the Iowa Secretary of State's office telling us it happens every couple of years. Secretary of State Paul Pate telling us in a statement today, ties in elections reinforce the fact that every vote matters. One more vote either way would have made the difference. That's why it's so important to make your voice heard by voting, and this is certainly an election and a race that we'll still have to keep our eye on.
Absolutely. Fascinating
Yeah.
stuff there. Thank you, John.